You know, I remember when I got my first speaking engagement. I was a high school basketball coach at Riverdale High School, and I don't think I had written my first book yet, although I might have. And a person said, would you come up and speak to our banquet? Actually, where I coached elementary basketball. And I remember preparing for that speech. I remember trying to figure out how I was going to hit the parents and the kids. I remember the excitement and enthusiasm. It was almost like a game day. And I worked on that speech and worked on that speech and worked on that speech. And then I went and gave it with enthusiasm and vim and vigor and energy. And after I was finished, one of the coaches there, one of the football coaches, because it was an all sports banquet, football, basketball, baseball, cheerleaders, he came up to me in the back of the room and he said, man, you're good. He's like, you could go on the circuit and speak all over the country. And I was like, circuit? Like, what circuit is he talking about? And I went home that night and I went online and I typed coaches that speak. And I saw Lou Holtz and Mike Krzyzewski and all these speaking pages and agents and I saw their speaking fee. And I said, Lou Holtz is speaking for $100,000 a speech and he's a football coach? I'm thinking, man, I can do this. And I began becoming fascinated with this concept of speaking. I love the energy of it. And I never thought about it before. So then as I began to write my books, I began to push those books. And I remember calling the local university where I went to in college, and I said, man, I got a message called This Ain't No Practice Life. And I'd like to come over and give it to your college students. And he said, sure. I mean, like, you know, those professors were looking for reasons not to teach class. So he's like, yeah, you can come give it, right? And I remember going over there and speaking to the college students around this message of this ain't no practice life. And I remember giving it with enthusiasm. And many of the college students were like, thank you so much. Like, you brought so much energy and enthusiasm, and we loved it. It's like, what else do you have? And I didn't have anything other than a book or two, right? And that topic, this ain't no practice life, would become a book for me. And it would become a speaking topic for me that I would literally give probably 200 times for free. I spoke at every Rotary Club, every Exchange Club, every Kiwanis Club, right? Anywhere they had bad chicken, that's what I call it, the rubber chicken circuit. And I would literally speak for free on that book and that topic. See, too many people make a mistake. They've got 7 topics and they're experts on 7 things. You need one thing, one topic, one message, and you need to give that message so many times that it's automatic. You know how to give it, you know where to tell the jokes, you know exactly where to pivot, and then you need to give that message to as many people as you can. Okay? And if it's good enough, that message can become a coaching program, it can become an online platform, it can become a retreat. Okay? We're even licensing people in my methods now. The monster method, right? So what happens is you speak and you get in front of people, and when you get in front of people, they like you. When they like you, you have more opportunity. It could be in sales, it could be in partnerships, it could be in joint ventures, it could be in real estate, it could be whatever. Because now they've seen you and they've had a chance to build something that's really important, which is called affinity. When I see a person speak and I believe the same things they do, now we have an affinity. And when we have an affinity, I move one step closer to them. I move toward them in partnership versus away from them because we believe the same things. I believe there's nothing more powerful to drive business in any arena than speaking. Okay? And I would be doing that no matter what I did for a living. I would be getting in front of people and speaking. And I would be sharing a framework of what I believe and why I believe it and what I do and how I do it different and who I've done it for. Like, speaking drives everything. It's driven every major contract I've ever signed. The only other big contract I got from not speaking was when a person read my book. Everybody needs a coach in life. And then I went to the company and spoke, and then I signed the contract. So if you're out there and you're watching this video and you say, I have a message I want to give to the world. I have a song to sing. I want to speak on stages. I want to be a star. I want to write books. Then what I want to encourage you to do is take a look at my $1 Million Coaching Summit that's coming up in May, where I break down the segments of how you speak, how you coach, how you train, how you lead, how you build online platforms, how you do licensing deals, How you build a methodology that could be replicated in other people. And it doesn't matter if you own a company or you want to be a speaker, because I believe speaking is the best tactic and strategy for you to sign big deals in the world. Thank goodness when I was 25 or so years old that person asked me to speak at their banquet, because it turned me on to something by somebody that I had no intention of doing in my life. I was going to be a high school basketball coach and be a college coach. But when I spoke and I saw that light switch come on with people, I said, this is something I'm interested in. This is something that could be good. Then to find out that I could earn as much as 10 times the amount of money in an hour than I made in a whole month, then I knew this is something I enjoy. This is something I can do. This is my way to help lots of people around the world. Check out my $1 Million Coaching Summit. I promise you, you will walk out of there with the tools, the techniques, the tactics, and the equipment you need to go out into the world and speak, coach, train, or lead.